In this video, I'm going to show you how to make your own sourdough starter. The easy way. Follow these steps and you'll be making your own delicious, homemade, and healthy bread in no time. What is sourdough, you ask? Well, it's nothing more than a culture of wild yeast, which is found everywhere and on everything. We just provide a desirable place for some of them to make a new home out of. Bakers have been using sourdough starter for thousands of years. They used to use the foam that rose from the top of their beer making vats. That stuff is called barm. Since then, people learned they could make a sourdough starter using the method I'm going to show you. Let's get started, shall we? So it's pretty simple. I start out with a small jar. This held 11 ounces of something, and all you have to do is you start out with about 3 tablespoons of flour. You can use white flour, you can use whole wheat flour. Make sure the white flour is unbleached. You can do a combination of the two. You can use any other type of flour. So I used a half and half measurement here. Next, add 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of distilled or otherwise dechlorinated water. Tap water contains chemicals that can kill any yeast that collects in your mixture. You can also use sugar water or juice to give your mixture a better chance to capture yeast. I use a wooden spoon since metal could change the chemical balance needed to capture yeast. The result is a thick batter. Any yeast would be proud to call that home. Add a lid, but don't screw it on all the way. The yeast and air need to be able to get in. Set it aside on a warm countertop, give it a stir once during the day, and repeat the entire process for up to 7 days. If it's not bubbling and doesn't smell like alcohol, beer, or bread, then throw it out and start over. Here's the result after about 7 days. I keep a cool house in the winter, so there's not much bubbling on the sides. But you should see lots of bubbling inside. So congratulations, you now have about 1 million new pets. Store the jar in the refrigerator with the lid loosely fitted until you're ready to use it. If you haven't used your starter in a week, you'll still have to feed it. The culture is a living thing after all. Here's how to do it. Once a week you feed it, and you just simply take out about half of the container. Just take it out. Doesn't have to be exact, 1/3 to a half. And you add more flour and water to get your level back up to the way you want it. If you want to have a little bit more starter, you can add more flour and more water until you get to the desired amount that you want. And so that's all there is to it. And all you have to do is set it right back into the refrigerator, and you can wait until next week to use it again or feed it. This is starter I've had for almost a year now. I've added enough flour and water to have about 3 cups of sourdough. It's just out of the refrigerator, and you can see that the solids have dropped and a line of water is at the top. That's called hooch, and it's perfectly normal. I can add less water next time I feed my sourdough, so I won't have as much hooch next time. As you can see, there are a few bubbles at the top. Just stir the mixture before using. I gave it a stir, and it's back to the normal, thick pancake batter consistency. And that's all there is to it. There are countless recipes online to show you how to use your new sourdough starter. In another video, I'll show you my own method of baking this delicious, nutritious wild yeast sourdough bread from scratch.